I do remember a lot of my after healing OCD, so when I'm not using task lists or any kind of lists anymore, at my after healing OCD. One of the main things was checking the notifications on my phone was the first priority. And let's be honest here. Notifications on your phone are much more now than just texts. There's Facebook. There's games on my phone that are sending me notifications. I remember the worst offender was actually the game that broke me out of my OCD. I would say you can stop once you have accomplished one of the goals in the game. But those goals would take a really long time. So I would either achieve a goal by some sort of luck, or I'd be playing it for an hour or 2 hours until my phone was out of battery and I could take a break. And then I remember I would plug in my phone, and based on how much charge there was, say, with my new phone, it says low power mode at 20%. So what I would do is I would plug it in, and depending on the percentage number, whatever it would take to get it up to 21, that's how many activities I would do before I could use my phone again. So say it's at 17% when I plug it in. I would follow that up with 4 different activities, and then I would go back to fulfilling the notifications on my phone. I'd wind up doing Fallout Shelter again because that's what's up on my phone and I gotta finish that. And it's like almost kind of a blessing when there's more activities, but it's also kind of a curse because that gives more time for the phone to charge. I remember that very strongly because that was also recently, but I know in the past it has been a problem as well. I know there have been several times, whether my therapist recommended it or I just was like, I need to do this. I would go in and turn off all the notifications on everything. That has become a problem for some things, because I know with my Instagram, my notifications are still all wonky, that I don't get notified about important stuff because I just turn them all off. I remember when I first discovered it was a problem, when I sent a message to someone, I didn't respond to them for like a day or two because I didn't get a notification, and I felt really bad about that, but texting is such a problem with me because I would always do the notifications in the order they came in. And every time someone sent me a text that would move the notification up, I would start with the notifications on the bottom, the oldest notifications, and I'd work my way up. But in this society, people expect you to text back right away. I have so many people get annoyed at me because I don't respond for like 2 days. And it was also a thing of I needed to respond when they sent a text. The only things I didn't have to respond to was if it was a 1-word answer or a 1-emoji answer. If it was an answer with 2 emojis, I would have to come up with some response to it. I wouldn't respond for 2 days to some completely, or longer, to some completely random text. Maybe that wasn't important, maybe that was concluding a conversation. And then I'd have to come up with something to say. And then I'd probably start a conversation oh, I don't want this to seem weird, so I'll start a new conversation. And then they'll text back, and then I don't text back for another couple of days probably because it's not next to my notifications. It was a huge problem. It's still kind of a problem because without my OCD, it's one of those things where it's I don't feel obligated to text back anymore, and I'll kind of just look at my texts and be like, do I feel like responding to this or not? One of the things that, because I've been talking about these episodes with my mom, one of the things that she said was that she was so worried about my OCD, specifically going into college. Because, with my Ella Enchanted spell, my obedience spell, whatever you call it, she was worried I would go to college and people would be like, you can have another drink, you can have some alcohol, have some weed, do this, do that. Oh, have you tried tequila? Try tequila, I don't know. And she was worried about me getting into some really serious situations because of that. I vaguely remember her being concerned about that at the time, and me just thinking I wouldn't do that because it disobeys an even higher rule, which is no drinking before 21. I don't think I would have done that, but I also don't know. I really don't know if I would have. But my main problem going into college was not that. I was never really around that scene. But I remember the first year, because I was trying to figure out how to be involved without over-involving myself. And I guess what I determined was every time that I saw an event was going to happen, like I saw an advertisement or a poster or got sent to me or something, I would put it down on my calendar and I would have to go to it. I don't know how much I want to talk about this, but I will bring it up. I remember that I auditioned for Step Team. At the time, I did not know what Step Team was. And the people on that team were great. They were so friendly. They were amazing people. I love them still, and they are all doing great things right now. But I auditioned for this Step Team, and I fully went to the auditions knowing that it was because of my OCD, knowing that I didn't actually want to do this, and fully expecting not to get in. And then I got in, and I had a complete panic attack. Like, complete and utter panic attack, because I just realized I committed myself to something that I didn't really want to do because of my OCD. It wasn't bad, it was fun. When I first auditioned, I wasn't expecting to get in. I was not expecting at all. So it was definitely a lot of going to random activities that I didn't really want to go to. That was my main problem, as well as notifications, and I think I was still doing the 50-10 thing. And I also remember my freshman year of school, of college, that is when I got into Marvel. It's one of my loves, and some of you guys that know me may be shocked that I didn't get into Marvel till 2018. And I don't blame you, because I'm pretty obsessed now, and I'm kind of ashamed that I didn't start sooner, but I'm kind of happy about it too. Because it's really become an obsession for me. I'm so easily obsessed with things. I remember I was getting the DVDs from Netflix because some of you guys don't know this, and my roommate didn't know this. Netflix still has their DVD service, and my family is still signed up for it. And I was using it to get all of the Marvel DVDs, like, one at a time. So every time a DVD would come in, that would be my number one priority on my list of things to do. And there's always some sort of rhyme or reason as to what I am doing next and why. Because the movies were coming in one at a time at first, it wasn't a problem. But when I got to, like, the TV shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff, I could just watch it. I could just watch it straight through if I wanted to. If I had time, I would watch the show, and if I didn't, I would actually get some work done. And the shows are like 45 minutes long, so that would leave me 30-minute segments maybe before a class or something I had to go to that I was actually getting anything done, and that wasn't healthy. So I decided, okay, so for every show that I watch, the amount of time I take to watch that show will be the amount of time that I spend working. And yeah, that's what it became and was until recently.